Failure is often misunderstood. Most people fear it, avoid it, and dread the mere thought of it. But what if we began to see failure as a stepping stone instead of a roadblock? What if, instead of feeling ashamed of our failures, we embrace them as evidence of effort, courage, and growth? Loving yourself starts with shifting your perspective on failure, seeing it not as something to fear, but as something to embrace. Denzel Washington once said, "You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose, you will embarrass yourself, you will suck at something. There's no doubt about it, these words are not meant to discourage us, they are meant to liberate us. They remind us that failure is inevitable, and it's also an essential part of the journey. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately succeed. If you can begin to love yourself through your failures, you unlock a strength that is unshakable. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe you tried something new and it completely flopped. In those moments, it's easy to be hard on yourself. It's easy to let self-doubt creep in and to question your worth. But loving yourself means resisting that urge. It means looking at those moments with compassion and reminding yourself that you're human. Everyone stumbles, everyone falls. And the most successful people are the ones who get back up, dust themselves off, and keep going. When you fall, you're not failing. You're learning. Each mistake is a lesson. Each setback is an opportunity to grow. When you trip over an obstacle, you gain the knowledge and strength to navigate around it the next time. Imagine a baby learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, over and over again. But do they stop trying? No. They don't see falling as failure, they see it as part of the process. And eventually they walk. Then they run. If babies can teach us one thing, it's that falling is just a step towards standing tall. Loving yourself means giving yourself permission to fall. And not just to fall, but to fall forward. When you fall forward, you're not stagnant. You're still moving, still learning, and still growing. Every misstep is progress. Every failure is a stepping stone. So the next time you make a mistake, celebrate it. It means you're trying. It means you're alive, engaged, and willing to take risks. Another aspect of loving yourself through failure is letting go of perfectionism. We live in a world that often glorifies success and highlights only the wins. Social media feeds are filled with achievements, milestones, and picture-perfect moments. But that's not reality. Reality is messy. It's full of setbacks, struggles, and challenges. When you compare your life to someone else's highlight reel, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead of striving for perfection, strive for progress. Be proud of yourself for trying even when things don't go as planned. Celebrate the effort you put in, not just the outcome. Loving yourself means understanding that you are enough just as you are. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, respect, or success. It's also important to acknowledge the courage it takes to try in the first place. It takes guts to step out of your comfort zone, to pursue a dream, or to take on a challenge. And with courage comes the risk of failure. But here's the thing, playing it safe won't lead to growth. It won't lead to fulfillment. It's in those moments of risk, those moments when you're vulnerable and exposed, that you truly live. Denzel Washington's words remind us that failure is a sign of effort. If you're not failing at something, it probably means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not stepping out of your comfort zone. Loving yourself means taking pride in the effort you put forth, regardless of the outcome. It means recognizing that trying and failing is better than not trying at all. There's another powerful lesson in failure. It teaches you resilience. Life will knock you down, but it's how you respond that matters. Each time you get back up, you're building strength, character, and determination. Resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Loving yourself means valuing the resilience within you. It means acknowledging the times you've overcome challenges and appreciating the strength that got you through. Sometimes failure is a blessing in disguise. It redirects us, teaches us, and prepares us for something better. Think about the times when things didn't work out the way you wanted, only to realize later that it was for the best. Maybe a missed opportunity led to something greater. Maybe a rejection protected you from a path that wasn't meant for you. Loving yourself means trusting that everything happens for a reason and believing that even setbacks can lead to something positive. Another aspect of embracing failure is understanding that it's not the end of the story. Just because you failed doesn't mean you're a failure. You are not your mistakes. You are not your setbacks. You are a work in progress, constantly evolving and growing. Loving yourself means separating your self-worth from your achievements. It means knowing that your value doesn't come from what you do, but from who you are. Loving yourself through failure also means being kind to yourself. Self-compassion is essential. When you make a mistake, talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend. Would you berate a friend for failing? Would you call them names or make them feel small? Of course not. You would encourage them, support them, and remind them of their worth. So why not do the same for yourself? Self-love isn't about ignoring your flaws or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all. It's about recognizing that you're a work in progress, and that's okay. Loving yourself means giving yourself grace, especially in moments of failure. Failure can also teach you humility. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to lean on others. Loving yourself means recognizing that you don't have to do it all alone. It means valuing the support and wisdom of others. Denzel Washington's wisdom encourages us to embrace failure as a necessary part of life. He reminds us that failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from. He reminds us that loving yourself means seeing the beauty in the struggle, the strength in the setbacks, and the value in the effort. So, the next time you face failure, don't be discouraged. Don't let it shake your sense of self-worth. Instead, embrace it, learn from it, use it as fuel to keep going. Remind yourself that every successful person has failed along the way. It's not the failure that defines them, it's how they responded. Loving yourself means being proud of who you are, even when things don't go as planned. It means celebrating your efforts, learning from your mistakes, and trusting that you're on the right path. It means believing in your ability to grow, evolve, and overcome any obstacle. When you love yourself, failure doesn't feel like the end of the road. It feels like a detour, a chance to take a different path, and an opportunity to discover something new about yourself. It's in those moments of failure that you find your strength, your resilience, and your true self. So, fall forward, embrace your imperfections. Love yourself through every stumble and every triumph, because you are enough just as you are, and no amount of failure can take that away from you. Denzel Washington often speaks about the importance of putting God first, a principle that goes beyond faith and touches the very essence of self-love. To love yourself deeply, you must first believe in the uniqueness of your creation. You must acknowledge that you are here for a reason, placed on this earth with gifts, talents, and a purpose only you can fulfill. But what does it truly mean to put God first when it comes to loving yourself? It means recognizing that your value is inherent and comes from the divine source that created you. It's a mindset, a way of living, and a practice of seeing yourself through the lens of purpose and potential. When you honor this, you begin to cultivate a self-love that is unshakable because it's rooted in something eternal and unchanging. The journey to loving yourself starts with understanding your purpose. Every person on this planet has a unique role to play. No two people have the same combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives. You are not an accident or a coincidence, you are intentional. And when you realize this, you can't help but feel a sense of love and respect for yourself. You are part of something greater, and your existence matters. Denzel reminds us of this truth when he says, put God first in everything you do. It's not about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about aligning yourself with a higher calling. When you live with purpose, you are more likely to value yourself. You start to see your worth not in terms of achievements or external validation, but in your ability to make an impact, to love, and to grow. Loving yourself is also about understanding your divine gifts. Every one of us has talents that are uniquely ours. Some people are gifted artists, others are compassionate healers, and still others are brilliant thinkers. Your gift might not look like someone else's, and that's the point. Loving yourself means embracing what makes you different and celebrating your individuality. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. You see someone else succeeding and you wonder if you're doing enough. You look at someone else's talents and you question your own. But comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to others, you lose sight of your own path and your own purpose. Loving yourself means staying focused on your journey and trusting that you are exactly where you need to be. Denzel Washington often speaks about the importance of hard work and discipline, but he always ties it back to faith. He says, "True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand, to indicate that it's yours already." This is a powerful statement. It reminds us that our dreams and aspirations are not random. They are placed in our hearts for a reason. They are a reflection of our purpose. When you love yourself, you trust those desires. You believe that your dreams are valid and achievable. You stop doubting whether you're worthy of success or happiness. Instead, you move forward with confidence, knowing that you are equipped to fulfill your purpose. Self-love also means trusting the process. There will be times when the road feels long and the obstacles seem insurmountable. There will be moments of doubt and frustration. But loving yourself means holding on to faith, even when things get tough. It means believing that every challenge is shaping you, preparing you for the next step in your journey. Denzel often talks about how faith has guided him through his own challenges. He doesn't shy away from discussing his failures or the times when he felt lost. But through it all, he kept his faith. He trusted that there was a plan for his life, even when he couldn't see it. And that trust gave him the strength to keep going. When you put God first, you begin to see yourself as part of a bigger picture. You understand that your life has meaning and that you have a role to play in the world. This perspective can be incredibly empowering. It shifts your focus from self-doubt to self-belief. It reminds you that you are not alone and that you have a source of strength to draw from. Loving yourself also means forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have moments when we fall short of our own expectations. But those mistakes don't define us. What defines us is how we respond. When you put God first, you learn to see yourself with grace and compassion. You stop being your own harshest critic and start being your own biggest supporter. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-love. It frees you from the weight of regret and allows you to move forward. It reminds you that you are human and that growth comes from learning, not from being perfect. When you forgive yourself, you open the door to healing and growth. Denzel Washington's speeches are filled with wisdom about gratitude, another cornerstone of self-love. He says, "Give thanks for what you have, and you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. It reminds you of the blessings in your life and helps you appreciate who you are and what you have accomplished. When you practice gratitude, you begin to see yourself in a new light. You stop dwelling on what you think you lack and start celebrating what makes you unique. Gratitude is an act of self-love because it acknowledges your worth and the value of your journey. Another aspect of loving yourself is setting boundaries. When you put God first, you begin to understand the importance of protecting your peace and your energy. You realize that you can't pour from an empty cup. Loving yourself means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, not those who bring you down. Boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. They allow you to focus on what matters and to give your best to the things that align with your purpose. When you set boundaries, you are honoring yourself and your worth. Loving yourself also means taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. It means prioritizing your health and well-being. It means making time for rest, for reflection, and for the things that bring you joy. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to fulfill your purpose and to serve others. Denzel Washington's philosophy of putting God first is not just about faith, it's about alignment. It's about aligning your actions, your thoughts, and your values with your purpose. When you do this, you begin to live authentically. You stop trying to be someone you're not and start embracing who you truly are. Authenticity is a powerful form of self-love. It means being true to yourself, even when it's difficult. It means honoring your values and staying true to your beliefs. When you live authentically, you attract people, opportunities that align with your purpose. You begin to build a life that reflects who you are at your core. Putting God first also means trusting in divine timing. We live in a world that often glorifies instant gratification. We want success, love, and happiness right now. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes we have to be patient. Loving yourself means trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. It means believing that the delays and detours are part of the plan. It means having faith that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Denzel Washington's message of putting God first is a reminder that self-love is not about ego, it's about humility. It's about recognizing that your worth comes not from what you achieve, but from who you are. It's about seeing yourself as a vessel for something greater and living your life in alignment with that truth. So, as you embark on the journey of loving yourself, remember to put God first. Remember to see yourself through the lens of purpose and potential. Celebrate your gifts, forgive your mistakes, and trust the process. Love yourself for who you are and who you are becoming. Because when you love yourself, you align with your purpose. You live authentically. And you begin to fulfill the unique role that only you can play in this world. In the end, loving yourself is not just an act of self-appreciation, it's an acknowledgement of your divine purpose, your unique gifts, and your inherent worth. When you put God first, you begin to see yourself not through the lens of your mistakes or limitations, but through the boundless potential you carry. Loving yourself means embracing your journey with faith, resilience, and gratitude. It means forgiving your missteps, celebrating your progress, and trusting the process even when the path is unclear. It means honoring the divine plan for your life by living authentically, setting boundaries, and investing in your growth. You are not here by accident. You are here for a reason. When you truly love yourself, you unlock the courage to chase your dreams, the strength to overcome challenges, and the grace to shine in your unique light. As Denzel Washington reminds us, your purpose is proof that you are already equipped for greatness. So love yourself boldly, live intentionally, and trust that you are enough always. Thank you.